The first years of a child are the most formative. Whatever children read, hear, or see molds their malleable minds. Recently, author-actress Twinkle Khanna wrote, "It doesn't matter what our children read as long as they start loving the idea of reading," end quote. Well, I agree that children should love reading, certainly enough to keep them distant from social media, TV, and the big screen. But I disagree that it doesn't matter what they read. I think it's obvious that Twinkle doesn't literally mean what she says. She wouldn't want children to read explicitly violent books, pornography, or hate literature. Why not? These kind of books would clearly not be beneficial for them. But then why is Harry Potter, The Naughtiest Unicorn, or The Dog Man acceptable reading matter? They're neither beneficial nor harmless. Like the Tom Sawyer or Hardy Boys that I read in my youth, almost all children's books impart mundane values, they promote a consumer-driven vision of life, and of course they waste valuable time. Children should read books that inspire austerity, simplicity, and a thirst for the eternal. Now, long ago, the 5-year-old Saint Prahlad told the following to his schoolmates, and this is in Sanskrit, so I'm going to start with that. Komarat acharat pragya dharman bhagavata iha durlabha manusya janman tadapi adruvam artadam. And translated for meaning, this says, "My dear friends, this human form of life is rarely attained, and it's especially meaningful because in it we can attain the highest perfection, pure devotion to the Supreme. Thus, we should not waste our time with play or reading irrelevant books, but we should begin the practice of bhakti yoga from our childhood and put aside all other diversions." That's the end of the quote. You know, Aristotle once said, "Give me a child until he's 7 and I will show you the man." In other words, we should encourage children to read books that will prepare them as adults to solve the problems of life, to understand their inner identity, to connect with the Supreme by perfecting the yoga of devotion. In short, we must prepare children how as adults they can be liberated. So the question is, do you want your child to grow up as a naughty unicorn or as a saint? If it's the latter, then you should be very selective of what he or she reads.